everyone. I am Founding Father Benjamin Franklin, and welcome to the Step Up America Foundation podcast. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we celebrate incredible Americans from all walks of life. You may hear from a NASA astronaut, a professional or amateur athlete, a musician, and of course, current and past military heroes, just to name a few. And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two along the way. Well, that's enough for me. Let me introduce you to our hosts, John McIntosh, Mark Renahan, and Adrian Garcia. Take it away, team!
And welcome back to another edition of Step Up America. I am one of your hosts, John McIntosh, and I am blessed to be here with Mr. Mark Renahan, the voice of Benjamin Franklin. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic. Sorry about that. I was just checking some technical issues, and we are up and running.
Very good. Well, nice.
It's nice to be here. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Excellent. We also have Mr. Adrian Garcia. And Mark's got his phone on.
No, I'm trying to figure it out. Sorry.
I'm getting a little confused over here, Marky. But we also have Mr. Adrian Garcia, one of our facilitators in the classroom and our engagement coordinator with us. How are you, bud?
I am doing great, John. I'm actually pretty excited for today's show because we are finally streaming live on Twitter and YouTube.
Excellent. Nice.
Woo-hoo! So now we're on all three platforms.
And
so that's definitely exciting.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So, and then once you guys get me Instagram, I'll be 100% happy.
Well, 75%.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding with you. You guys did a great job. I know I yell all the time, so thank you.
We also have back in the background, he's doing some training with us, Mr. Noah, our engineer.
I got YouTube working.
Noah, you are the man. We appreciate it.
I finally made YouTube work. It doesn't work at the radio station very well.
Without you, we would not
happy.
have been able to have YouTube and Twitter to work. So thank you, Noah.
And we also have the mad scientist who's supervising the training, Mr. Lane Solomon, with us. How are you, sir?
He can't really get on the air.
He's not on the mic.
He has smiled.
You can yell it out. You can yell it out, Lane. I'm sure the mics will pick it up.
So welcome back.
You actually forgot somebody because as it's always Thursday now, and on Thursdays we have a new segment called
Sargent Major's Corner.
And guess what? He's on the line right now, Sergeant Major Johnny Myers. Sergeant Major, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Yourself?
I am great.
Bad.
Doing good.
Thank you for joining us as always.
Absolutely.
And Johnny, good morning.
Good morning.
That's an inside
Somewhere.
joke. That's
Somewhere.
an inside joke. So, all right, Mark, let's
get right to it. As we always tell you every day, the hottest and coldest place in the United States. And guess where today is the hottest, Adrian? Can you guess?
Oh, man, it's going to be a hard one. Let me guess. Death Valley, California?
Death Valley, correct, is 118 degrees today. It's down from the other day of 121. So we've lost 3 degrees there. Now, the coldest place, we had it in Peter Sinks, Utah last time. It is back in Utah, but it is at Bryce Canyon, Utah, is 33 degrees today. So excellent. Death Valley hot, Utah cold, we're learning so far. But that is our weather.
That's going to change throughout the...
I believe so. I think once we get out of the summer, we'll have some different, I hope,
we will.
changes. Yeah, but I guess it's time now. John has finally won the rock, paper, scissors contest before the game, and he gets to ask the trivia question. It is me against the kid Garcia. Let's see how he can do. He's very good with local trivia, but if it's any older stuff, he's at a handicap.
Yeah, I'm probably doomed.
So all of you listeners out there, this is what we actually call the geography game segment of our show. And the way it works is we all play rock, paper, scissors.
Off camera.
The two losers must answer a trivia question, and the loser of that trivia question must throw a dart against the board of the United States, which is probably up behind me right now. And then we get to quiz that individual on facts related to that specific state. So here we go. You guys ready to play?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Guys,
I see a smirk in your face.
I told you earlier
I hope it's a good one.
It was about sports and leisure. I told a fib.
I know you probably did, yeah.
This one's related to history.
Of course
okay.
I know how you work.
Oh, man.
All right. So,
I guarantee this is question favored towards Adrian because you're a...
No, I don't think either one of you will get it. All right, so here we go. Here's the question. Who invented the cotton gin?
Oh,
Adrian.
wait, why did I...
Cotton gin is invented.
Hold on. Is it somebody that we've talked about before? Can I get a hint?
In class?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't the slightest clue.
No, I have no idea. I don't even know why I slapped my hand.
Okay. Nobody slapped their hand down. Okay.
I know you've
We have
said
no answers.
you've said the name before. I just don't
know.
remember what it was.
Until I read all 4 answers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
A. George Washington Carver.
That's the peanut.
B. Benjamin Franklin.
Of course, I'm not the.
C. Eli Whitney. And D. Thomas Edison.
Eli Whitney.
Looks like you're throwing the dart there.
Well,
Marty.
first of all, you said no slamming it down, but all right, I'll throw my dart.
No, I said until all
Okay,
four
all right.
darts.
I know
So
that you
just
two,
make sure
you
the-
two were working out something
No,
before. I
No,
know.
he.
All right.
No.
I remember that from elementary school.
Well, I'm gonna have it forever
here we
ingrained
go.
in my brain
So
now.
push my chair because I gotta.
Well, you should have done that when you got up, Mark. Just
Heaven forbid Macintosh moves. All right, so I'm looking at.
Make it a good state.
I hope I don't throw it to the
Yeah,
right and hit
yeah,
you
no,
by accident.
somewhere over here is the Atlantic Ocean, so we're gonna leave that one alone.
Massachusetts is right there.
I'm not thinking so.
It's obscuring one of the letters, but I believe that's Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Nice.
All right.
Hey.
Mark's in for a world.
That's a good choice.
In front of a K and
Oh,
an A.
Anyway.
okay. So,
All right, timeout. So it's Kansas, huh?
Kansas.
no, John.
All right, for
What
those
is
of you
this?
who are just joining us, some of the things that we have to ask is what is the state capital, which is right there. Adrian, what is the state nickname, which is right there. And of course, Sean has the last one. What is the state
And
license
other
plate?
fun
Has
facts.
other fun
that we
facts.
just
So,
like to,
what do I know
throw
about
in
Kansas? So,
All right.
there. Well,
Kansas.
just be quiet.
Yeah, let's start with
Show up.
state capital. What is the state capital
State
of Kansas?
capital of Kansas is Wichita.
Wichita. Is that your final answer?
Don't be like my father and say, "Is that your final answer?" and I change it, and then it's right. So if it's not Wichita, then maybe it's Topeka.
Well, because I gave you the option to change your answer, you're right. It is Topeka.
All right, so I got that's
Wichita.
two
Hey,
cities.
so let me tell you a little story about Wichita.
Okay.
All right.
When my father was stationed in Offutt up in Nebraska, Offutt Air Force Base.
Okay.
We got into a serious car wreck in Wichita,
Oh.
Kansas, taking my 2 older sisters to a swim meet in the middle of the winter, and it was icy, and we spun off the road in the Pinto wagon. It was pretty solid.
Huh.
By the way, I can tell you a few more things about Kansas. Kansas, I believe, is where Dorothy was from The Wizard of Oz, and they are well known for tornadoes.
Tornado Alley.
Can you just answer the question?
And ask the next question.
Play it again?
All right.
All right.
So, what is the license plate slogan of
The
Kansas?
the land of tornadoes. No, don't tell me.
Close, but no cigar.
The land is the land of is that in it?
No.
All right, now give me a second. Kansas.
Got one more try.
Go back to
Tornadoes.
no.
Dorothy,
Go back to Dorothy.
Topeka, Wichita.
Go back to Dorothy.
Dorothy was living on the farm.
What was the famous slogan that she always said?
There's no place like home.
That is right.
Oh.
Is that
Oh,
the-
wow.
Wow. All right. So the license plate is "There's no place like home."
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking
so
follow
I
the
get
yellow
some
brick
credit
road.
for even
There's-
bringing up Dorothy. And
There's
and-
also a couple others.
Let's hear them.
Kansas, as big as you think.
All right.
There's also Simply Wonderful. I like that one.
I do
That's
too. And now
cool.
we also need the state nickname too.
Yeah, so the state nickname
Don't
for
tell me.
Kansas.
The state
I'll,
nickname
do you want me to give you a hint?
Yes.
So there's 2 of them.
Why are you giving him hints?
What a
Nobody
hint
gives
though.
me
There's
hints.
2 of them. That's just an incredible hint. Now I've really got it.
I'm sure I've given you hints.
Yeah.
No, he's got a
I'm
50%
gonna say-
shot. Let him go, and
The
then
state
give him a
nickname
hint.
is what's Kansas known? I mean, it's known for tornadoes, but I'm sure they're not the tornado state. So I'm
State
gonna
Isn't it
say
also known
nickname.
for like wheat or whatever?
they're known for wheat. Like I picture like plains and
Corn and
But
grain.
Kansas
Okay.
City, I know is Missouri, but there's also Kansas City, Kansas. Isn't it split right along the line, or might I have that wrong?
No, I think
I have no
correct.
idea.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it's the. All right, tell me. I give up.
All right, I'll give you one of them, but you have to try to guess the other
All
one.
right, give me one of them.
One of them is Sunflower State.
All right.
So it's farming. I bet the other one is like the farm state.
Give it your best guess.
The farm states.
No, the second one is Jayhawker State.
Oh, you
Kansas
should have known
Jayhawks is
that.
a basketball team. You know what? I'm very disappointed to say, as though I like to consider myself an animal expert. I'm not 100% sure what a Jayhawk is.
I've
Type of hawk?
A bird?
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
a good
I don't
guess.
know.
I don't know if I was out there thinking.
Well,
Maybe
the Seahawks, I think, is an
Jayhawk. What do
osprey.
you think, Johnny? Johnny?
Uh-oh, did we lose you?
You're going to pass. No, that's no good.
I like to pass, Sergeant Major. All right, so in conclusion, we were, of course, we're trying to educate everyone on
The different
on
states.
the different states, just to have a little fun. And today was Kansas. And by the way, if you are out there listening from any Kansas, Chamber of Commerce or things like that, and you want to call in and be on the show and tell us all about the great state of Kansas, we would love to have you call in, and we'd tell you and tell all our listeners about Kansas. I've never been to Kansas. Has anybody? You been to Kansas?
I have.
I've never been.
No, that's.
You don't remember me
It's on my
telling
bucket list.
story about Wichita?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that was 2
Come
seconds
on.
ago. All right, yeah, so you have been to Kansas. All right, well,
Yeah.
that is today's geography game, John.
Excellent. Kansas. I learned a little about Kansas.
Well, we
so
know,
that's cool.
just to know the state and the capital.
We need to quit hitting the Midwest. We're going to have to start taking a little different.
Eventually, I'm just going to start throwing the darts at you. Just
Just
so
aim
no.
for John's chair, then you might hit, Florida or Georgia.
How about we just aim for John? We'll try not to hit him. If we do, hey,
Try not to hit any major
it's
arteries.
If you hit him, it's part of the show. I mean,
Yeah,
do it for
I
the
know.
ratings. Take a couple of darts to the head.
All right.
Oh.
Well, actually, Adrian and I will switch seats.
All right. Again, I think you should take a few darts to the head. But anyway, of course.
No, when we go out to Megan's ranch, I'm gonna take some.
You're gonna take that.
so
Trust
we're
me.
good.
I'm gonna work with Megan to have you at the back of one of those cars right as it goes off.
Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
Right as it goes off.
Oh.
Right
In
there.
what she calls the splash.
The
zone.
splash.
Splash
So
zone.
I've talked to Megan, and Megan thinks that after meeting all of us, that you would be best to be in charge
That's
of the
fine.
splash zone.
Yeah, if it gets ratings and brings us notoriety and.
I would love nothing more in my life than to watch a cow
It
spray you.
brings
severely.
Riverbend Cattle Company some
By the way,
extra
best
business.
meat ever. If you're anyone out there, riverbendcattlecompany.com or .co. I mean, riverbendcattleco.com is also to shorten it down a little bit.
Well,
She does that.
it's this young man's birthday sitting across from me a couple days ago.
Birthday week.
And I'm actually thawing out some. If the team, everybody that's in this room is invited, we'll pick a time tomorrow. I'm gonna smoke something that Megan sent us. So
Yeah, I
Can't
mean,
wait.
You owe me a couple of
Cannot
deliveries
wait.
worth of beef, so.
I'm ready for this. Thank you, John.
I keep paying for mine. Sergeant Major Myers paid for his. You happened to get yours free, and then gave
then
it
you
away
stole
to
it.
me. But we were not going to go
and
down that
then
road.
and then
All
you stole
right.
it.
So what's the next
The
segment?
Moving
next
on,
segment is, of
moving
course,
on.
we get away from the kids and we go to the adult. We have with us a 30-year member of the Army, maybe even longer. I may have that incorrect, but he is a retired former sergeant major. For those of you listening who are not familiar with the veteran world, one of the things we try to do is bridge that gap for you. And just so you know, the sergeant major is the highest rank you can receive as an enlisted man in the Army. Of course, one of our founding members of the Step Up America Foundation is the Sergeant Major of the Army, Jack Tilley, and one of his good friends is now working with us. I speak, of course, of Sergeant Major Johnny Myers, who is here with us today for Sergeant Major's Corner. Sergeant Major, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. And I would like to say welcome and good afternoon to our audience. This afternoon, I will be speaking about the Gettysburg Address, which represents a significant duality within American heritage that was formulated on July 4th, 1776, when the Continental Congress declared that 13 American colonies were no longer subject and subordinate to the monarch of Britain, King George III, and were now united, free, and independent states. Subsequently, in February of 1861, the 34 U.S. states, 7 southern slave-holding states, were declared by their state governments to have seceded from the country, and the Confederate States of America were organized in rebellion against the U.S. constitutional government. The Confederacy grew to control at least the majority of territory in 11 states, and it claimed the additional states of Kentucky and Missouri by assertions from native secessionists fleeing Union authority. These states were given full representation in the Confederate Congress throughout the Civil War. The two remaining slave-holding states, Delaware and Maryland, were invited to join the Confederacy, but nothing substantial developed due to intervention by federal troops. President Lincoln, in his infinite wisdom, saw the Civil War casualty total of 828,000 plus Americans as a need to make a statement in Gettysburg. President Lincoln delivered the 272-word Gettysburg Address on November 19, 1863, on the battlefield near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. He said, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, tested whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored beds we take increased devotion to that cause for which they here gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my take on the Gettysburg Address and some of the heritage that preceded it.
Well, Johnny, yeah, 272 words, and it's probably the most well-known speech in America right now. And there's a couple phrases in that speech that President Lincoln actually gave, and one is unfinished work. I love that, because that's what we do here at the Step Up America Foundation is we have unfinished work in this country, because we're always trying to strive to make it a better country. And that's what we do here at this foundation. I hope you agree with that, and that's why you're part of our team, right? I hope.
Well, absolutely correct. And I believe President Lincoln took a portion of the preamble of the Constitution and he rephrased it. And what I mean by that is in pursuit of a more perfect union. And he just said it another way. But he didn't take away from it. He amplified it. And that is something that we here at Step Up America, and I hope across the nation, we are not perfect. And anyone who thinks we're perfect is fooling themselves. We must always strive for that perfection, but realize it may always be outside of our grasp. But sometimes good is good enough.
No, awesome words. And the other part of that speech, Johnny, that really sticks out in my head is that these men should not have died in vain. And that falls in line with one of our other missions here. And just like Mark said, bridging that gap between military and civilian people and helping the civilian world understand the sacrifices and the selflessness that our military members have given over the course of this country and continue to give today. And I love that. I don't know how you feel about that, but.
Well, you're absolutely correct. The Gettysburg Address was from a president, 16th president of the United States, who recognized that almost 1 million people had died fighting within this country within a 4-year period. And he did not give a political speech. He stated that the individuals who died there and those who had died before them had consecrated the ground. He didn't say the Union. He did not say Confederacy. He spoke about America. And those words were intended to bring together a nation that had been divided. And Step Up America, in our pursuit of providing some insight from the civic platform, is what we are trying to do so individuals will recognize our history is not about division, it's about unity.
Absolutely.
That's an incredible statement.
That's why we have you on here. So I got goosebumps, Johnny.
Well, I'll tell you, we have kind of a new segment that I'm going to kind of tie into what you were just saying there, Sergeant Major. So for those of you who may just be turning in for the first time and wondering what is the Step Up America Foundation, I'll give it to you as fast as I can. We are basically a two-part organization. Our first part that we strive our best to do is we strive to educate our students here in the United States on U.S. history and U.S. civics, as well as some other fun lessons like being a good citizen and volunteering. On the other hand, when this first started, we began this little podcast that has grown tremendously, and we really like to honor Americans of all walks of life on the show, but we mainly focus on veterans and a lot of times celebrities who help veterans. Now, when it comes to our lesson that Ben Franklin teaches on being a good citizen, Sergeant Major, because you're new here to the show and you're a Yankees fan, I'm going to throw you under the bus a little bit here. But for those of you who are listening, let me give you an example of what a good citizen is. And it's going to lead into our new segment where we're going to try and give a little information to any veterans events that are happening anywhere in the United States. We have an incredible one today we're going to tell you about. But for those of you who don't know a ton about veterans, the Army, the service, let me explain that Sergeant Major Myers has given 30 years of his life to the Army and to our country. He retired as Sergeant Major. Again, that is an incredible achievement for anyone to achieve. Now, when he was done retiring, in my opinion, he could have just played golf the rest of his life. He has earned every minute of doing nothing. If I had my way, men like him would be getting fed pineapple slices and waved with fans
right.
and given iced coffee when they're done with their time. But because Sergeant Major is a good citizen, he didn't do that. He has devoted his time to helping a crazy Irishman from Boston and a Virginia Air Force man push their little program, and he has gotten some of his friends, such as Sergeant Major Tilley, which brings me to my little segment. So, Sergeant Major Tilley, one of our board members, and Sergeant Major Myers, along with their partner Ted Hacker, work for an incredible foundation called the American Freedom Foundation. You can find them at AmericanFreedomFoundation.org. Their mission is to honor, serve, and support veterans, military service members, and their families by creating awareness and building support of their service and their sacrifice through partnership with tons of military organizations. And, we are not a full-time veterans. We don't supply, we don't do any veterans, services. However, we do on our show here love to honor veterans and do anything we can to help them. So it is with all of that being told that the American Freedom Foundation with Sergeant Major Tilley and Ted Hacker are having what I would consider one of the biggest veterans events of the year. Now, usually they have this event in person, but of course, due to the pandemic, this time it is going to be a virtual workplace, which, as bad as it is that they can't be there in person, as it's virtual, any veteran in the United States of America who sees this, reads this, you're going to go to their website, you're going to fill out the information, and you're going to
September 16th and 17th, 2 days before my birthday, coming up. They are going to have the summit of the Warriors to the Workforce, and it is going to be filled with more incredible veteran-related activities. I don't even know how to get into it. There's going to be speakers like you wouldn't believe that are going to be there. Of course, Sergeant Major Tilley, the 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, is going to be there, as is his partner, Ted Hacker. They have, I believe, I saw the Voices of the Services are going to be performing. There's going to be a resource center. There's going to be a find and mentor center. One of the things that they love to do, that Sergeant Major Tilley loves to do, is he loves to showcase veterans and the strengths that they've learned through their service and how they can turn that into incredible results for those in the civilian business community. Now, for any of you veterans out there who got out of the service and, maybe you were a little shaky, of course, getting, going from one to the other, there's going to be a resource center. They're going to have build a resume and things like that. So this is going to be an incredible event. Again, it is September 16th and 17th. If you are a veteran here in the United States, you need to immediately go, and you can register for this at www.warriors2theworkforcesummit.com. You go there. It'll have all the information you need to do. You can sign up for it. And again, they are going to have incredible stuff. Fireside chats, exhibit halls, a LinkedIn American networking event, Voices of the Service performance. Of course, they are a variety of military singers. And if you haven't seen them, they are unbelievable, and they are somebody I want to get on this show.
And Mark.
Sorry, I get going.
No, I know. How can they, again, if a veteran's out there and wants to attend this event and look for a hiring opportunity, where can they go register again?
They're going to go to www.warriors2theworkforcesummit.com, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just spell it, because if I was listening, I'd be like, help. Well,
I'm not even going to say that. If you got a question out there and you're watching this on Facebook Live and you got a question about the summit, Warriors to Workforce, message us. We'll get you all the information you need, I promise you.
Yeah, and actually, when the show is over, we will put in the website and the text of this show, and we're going to promote it. But again, if you are a veteran out there, I know I have a lot of friends who are veterans, and you want, maybe you're looking for a new job, you're just looking for some, and some information, or you're just looking to have a good time. I mean, I think Vince, another one, is Patton is going to be one of the speakers, and if you haven't heard Vince talk,
oh boy, he can talk too.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I'm not kidding. Vince makes you happy when Vince is done talking. But I'm sure Sergeant Major Tilley and Ted Hacker have a incredible show. I have been to one of their shows before. So much fun, so awesome. So if you're a veteran out there, www.warriors2theworkforcesummit.com. And also, if you're a veterans nonprofit out there, or anybody who's helping veterans, and you have something you would like us to discuss on the show, you can hit me up on my email, which is just info@stepupamericaprogram.org. Message us on Facebook, Instagram, any of the social media sites. And I apologize for babbling on, but as my father used to say, never give an Irishman a microphone.
Yeah, it's a worthy cause, though. So I'm glad to share that information. And if we can get 5, 6, 10, 100, 2,000, who knows, individuals employment, we're doing our part, and that's what we stand for. So.
And again, it's a great way to show the civilian business world that, hey, if you hire a veteran, they are going to bring skills that can't really be honed in other areas to your company, and they're going to really, give you a boost that you'd be, I know a lot of people, again, there's a gap between both worlds, and, especially people when they get out. I'm sure that, when your service in Guam at the motor pool ended, you were, having some trouble getting back into the civilian world. Thankfully, we found you, and we've slowly mixed you back in here, so, we're doing great.
You adapted quickly.
Yeah, right.
That's a joke.
I know, and I take it like a joke. Don't worry. So, Mark, I see you got that pretty cool coffee mug sitting over there.
John.
Where'd you happen to get that bad boy?
I got this bad boy at the Ben Franklin General Store, which can be found on www.stepupamericaprogram.org. And I know many people won't believe this, but I've been drinking water my whole life for 30 years. When I drank it out of this Ben Franklin
tastes
cup,
better, doesn't it?
It tastes like some magical brew from the heavens. Yeah. So even though it's just
Fountain of Youth,
a Zephyr Hills water, if you drink it out of the Ben Franklin cup, I'm not going to, I can't guarantee this, but you may reverse your age by 10 years. That's a lie. So,
well, yeah, go out to our website, the general store, hit it up. There's all kinds of stuff there. There's shirts. There's new T-shirts coming this week. I just found out. Coffee mugs, face masks,
Bath
beach
towels.
towels. I mean, you name
Stickers,
it. Beach
polo
bags,
shirts.
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool conversational piece. And so go out there and support us because we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and everything that you donate to us goes straight into educating our students and helping bridge that gap between veterans and civilians in this world, and just doing good stuff. And that's why people like Sergeant Major Myers and the 12th, former 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, Jack Tilley, amongst others, our board is just absolutely incredible, and we can't thank them enough for our support. But go out and support us, and teachers and educators out there, we just want you to know we are fully prepared to go virtual in the fall. We can do that through Zoom. We can do it through Google Classroom. We can do it through just about, I think Lane was working with the SMA today on a different platform, and we can do it. If you want to have Ben Franklin come teach one of our 16 lesson plans that are developed by educators, not Mark and I or Adrian, but professional educators with over 60 years of experience.
Aligned to state standards.
That align to state standards. We're not just throwing stuff up against the wall. It's what you all have to teach. We're prepared to do it, and quite frankly, we miss it. So we're excited.
And best part, it's free.
Yeah,
100%.
And it's not only that. The best part, and this is of course we are perfectly great with the teaching, and we love that. But at the end of every lesson, we have a 5 to 10 minute question and answering period with Ben Franklin that the kids love. We entertain them severely, and it gives you teachers a chance to rest for a few minutes. I having watched you in the class, and I always, by the way, I have to give the props to the teachers who are in there with us and helping us out with their students. And a lot of teachers play along and have fun and try to stump Ben Franklin. How dare they? They never do, but they try. But again, it is an incredible program for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time. It is called the Ben Franklin Project. It is a computer avatar of Ben Franklin. And if you would like to meet Ben, if you're thinking about it, you're not really sure, and you want to see what it's all about, you just send us a message at info@stepupamericaprogram.org, and we will set up a meeting where Ben will zoom into your phone or Google Classroom or however the technology stuff works. I'm just the voice, but he will zoom in.
It's like
and
a free
he will show
demo.
you how to do it. Yeah, so let us know, and we're glad to do it.
All right, excellent. Mark?
I believe we are coming.
No, we're
Any
not.
parting?
You always have a pop culture quiz.
Oh, I actually have I'm sorry.
yeah.
I have a quiz today for Adrian. That I
Yeah, let's go.
okay.
Because it's his birthday week.
It is
quiz.
Adrian's birthday, so I'm slamming him with the quiz. Now, for those
Okay.
of you who are unaware, I am 47, as is my partner, John. Adrian and Noah are children. I think Adrian is 26 this week.
Yes.
He can rent a car.
Yep.
And Noah, what are you, 24
I've always
back
been able
there?
to.
I am 22.
All right, so anyway, I like to give them quizzes from my childhood to see if they're up to date. But today I'm going to hit Adrian with a video game quiz. Noah, you will probably ace
Video
this.
game.
So
Oh my
it is
gosh.
video games from the 1980s that I grew up on, and John did too. And I want to know
Okay.
if you can get any in the right lane. Don't you yell in. I know you know the answers. So we're going to start easy, and we're going to get hard. So the first question is, this game has a gorilla at the top of an iron ladder period throwing barrels at you as you try to get to the top and hit him with a hammer.
Wait, a
Kong?
hammer?
Oh, well, it's close.
Close.
Close?
We'll
Okay.
give him credit. Maybe.
Donkey Kong.
Yes!
Donkey Kong.
Sergeant Major
Okay.
came in with Donkey Kong. That
Hey,
is
that's-
I was. Thank you,
Hey.
Sergeant Major. I was halfway right.
Sergeant Major, he's got a call for a lifeline. You just can't give him the
Yeah,
answer.
we'll have
You want-
Sergeant Major
All
lifeline. So,
yeah.
all right, so we're not done. So, as a
You
young...
have one more lifeline. You can
Okay.
call on the Sergeant Major if you need to.
Okay,
You have
one
one
more
more
lifeline,
Sergeant
okay.
Major lifeline.
When I was a young boy, the very first gaming system that I received came with the game Combat and had a joystick with a red button. This gaming system was called what?
Like the actual name of the console.
Yes.
Atari?
Oh, correct.
2 for 2.
Two for two.
All right.
So, while you were playing Atari, the best game ever on it that I played nonstop as a child had you as a, I guess, adventurer as you ran through the jungle, sometimes swinging over vines and jumping on crocodiles' heads. What was the name of this incredible game that they... No, you be quiet. I can hear you back there breathing. John's gonna get a
I would
shot
like
this
to
too.
call on my lifeline, please.
Sergeant Major? I don't think the Sergeant Major
Super
knows.
Mario.
No,
No,
it's
no.
John?
Sergeant Major.
That's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, no, that's not the jungle.
Jungle River.
No.
Jungle. Give me the first letter.
P.
I got it.
P.
P-
Pitfall was the game,
yes,
and
I
you would
knew
swing
exactly,
over the
yeah.
crocodile.
Never heard of that
Yep,
one.
yep.
Never heard
All
of
right,
that.
we're getting there. We're getting there. Another game that was incredibly popular, and I used to play at the Seaview Plainland Barn of Fun on Cape Cod, featured a game where you were a little tiny square that shot up into the air as aliens moved back and forth to come and eat you. And if they reached the bottom, they would eat you.
I think I know the name of it, but spaceship?
Don't. Very close. Don't.
Battleship?
No.
Does it have the word ship in it?
No.
No.
It has the word space in it. I'll give you that.
it's
Space
not
Defender?
Can I
Space
give a
Defender?
go?
Yes, go ahead.
Space Invaders.
Of course
Space
it is
Invaders.
Space Invaders.
I was thinking Galaga.
All right, there is one
Galaga.
last question.
Somewhat.
Galaga is awesome, by the way.
Hey,
And
I know we're rambling a little bit, but you left Pong out of there. Pong.
he's not going to know Pong, for
Oh,
God's sakes.
come on, dude.
All right, we have one last
That's what I had on
question.
my
OG.
first cell phone, Pong.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't think of that, actually.
Pong is
All right, so last one.
OG.
I had that brick Nokia.
Last one. This
Way back when.
game featured, it was very similar to Space Invaders. You were at the bottom, except this time a creature that was an insect swirled down the screen.
Centipede.
Oh, nice.
I had it on my phone too.
All right.
I don't know. What
Those
do
are
you think,
classics.
Sergeant Major? I think he passed.
I'll give
right?
him a pass on that.
Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know, Sergeant Major, I'm going to have to come up with a quiz for you for next week, so we'll think of that. But once again, everybody, we really appreciate you tuning in. We, again, starting out with our new show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Don't forget, every Wednesday we have our incredible celebrities coming on. Next week, we're still working on them.
We're
We
not
can't say
gonna
who
say
yet.
the name,
'cause
but it
we're
might
working
be
on it. But
the biggest one ever.
The week
so,
after that is an incredible show. And for those of you who don't know, again, we'd like to bridge the gap. It is the 75th anniversary of the sinking of the USS Indianapolis, which is the secret mission that delivered the parts to the atomic bomb to the island of Tinian. After that, it was shot and sunken by a Japanese torpedo. And the survivors were all left in the water, surviving for 3 days during the most vicious
Oh,
shark
wow.
attacks. I'm sure some of you would know the
Why don't
scene
you
from the
save
movie
some of
Jaws.
this, for
I'm just
our
going to
show?
tell him.
I'm
I'm just
saying.
telling you. So
We're doing
anyway, we talked to the people at the 75th, USS
Never give an
Indianapolis.
Irishman a mic.
You shouldn't. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I know.
we are having Lynn Vincent, who is an incredible best-selling author, and she just recently wrote the book about the USS Indianapolis, and she is a Navy veteran. She's going to come on, and we're going to have that book read, boys, by the way. It arrives from Amazon tomorrow, and everyone's going to have it read before that show.
Now, Sergeant Major Myers, I'm going to show Mark how us military people do. We also in the pipeline have
Pipeland.
a NASCAR team
Oh, that's
joining us
correct.
and 2 WWE superstars that'll be joining us, and that's all I got. See how you can make that quick and
Short and sweet and to the
It's not
point.
as fun, though.
It's
You gotta
debatable.
have fun with everything. Period. That's how it works. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Thank you all for tuning in, and I think we're gonna say goodbye today on behalf of my, of course, lovely co-host John, Air Force former captain, the kid Adrian Garcia, the incredible engineer, my main man Noah, and the mad scientist behind Ben Franklin, Lane Solomon. We would like to thank you for tuning in to our antics, and let's not forget the Sergeant Major Corner with Sergeant Major Johnny Myers.
Any parting words, Sergeant Major?
No, hopefully everyone will
I love him.
stay well and remain safe.
All right, excellent.
Thank you, sir. And I think none other than Ben Franklin is going to take us out of here.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining.
We'll see you Tuesday at 2:30.
Till next time.